Good afternoon, viewers and listeners. Welcome once again to Salida, TeleRadyo, where you will learn valuable lessons in spite of pandemic. This is your teacher host, Teacher Faith Perocho. And this afternoon, you will learn different language registers, a lesson from grade 7 English. And now I will turn you over to your teacher broadcaster, Teacher Milky C. De La Serna.
Thank you, Ma'am Faith. A pleasant day, viewers and listeners. Welcome to our episode this afternoon. Despite the pandemic, we are glad that we are still able to deliver our lesson to you through our Salida TeleRadyo. Today, you will be learning the different language registers. You will know the appropriate words to say in an appropriate time and place to the specific audience. To be guided, you may open your self-learning module in English 7. This topic is part of your Quarter 3 Module 2 lesson, which is about oral language, stance, and behavior. Please do also prepare your paper and pen for note-taking. Let us know our lesson objectives. The first one is to recall the difference of formal and informal language. Second, choose the right kind of language for your purpose. Third, use the appropriate words to say in an appropriate time and place to the specific audience. Simply put, you will be applying all these ideas and ways later in real-life situation or in social context. Before we proceed to your first task, I want to ask you a question. How do you talk to your parents? To your teachers? To your friends? Do you know that talking is one form of communication? Let us try to define communication. Communication is sending or receiving information or transferring information from one place and person to another. Therefore, communication is very important in our day-to-day life. However, if we will not use communication properly, you're going to guess the new word from the root word communication. What do you think is the prefix which means mistaken, wrong, or incorrect? If you answered miss, then you are correct. The word we are looking for means a failure to communicate properly. This has a big impact in communication. If one miscommunicates, then it could lead to doubts, confusion, and even humiliation. And to avoid miscommunication, it is important to know when to use formal and informal language. Now, I know you are all set for a task. Can you still recall the difference between formal and informal language? So this is your first task. We will call this activity Choose Your Language. So let us recall your previous knowledge by choosing what form of language should you use in varied setting that I will be giving you. For those who are watching live, you may comment down thumbs up if the language that suits the setting is formal language, and thumbs down if the language that suits the setting is informal language. And for our listeners, you may write your answers in this task in a clean sheet of paper. Are you ready? Let's start! First situation. In a registrar's office, you are about to approach the registrar to request for a school form. What language would you choose to use? If your answer is formal, you are correct. Formal language is used in situations that are serious or that involve people you don't know very well. Second setting. In a grocery store, you bumped into your friend. What language would you choose to use? If you answer informal, you are correct. Informal language uses colloquialism and contraction. Colloquialism or colloquial language is the style used for casual communication. Now, you have recalled the use of formal and informal language. We may now proceed to a broader topic, which is the language registers. Language register in English is the scale of formality we use when we write and speak. It is a variety of language used for a particular purpose or in a particular communicative situation. Meaning to say, language registers help us on what to say, when to say, and whom do we say. What you speak matters depending on the situation that you are in. Take for example, if you are speaking in front of all students of La Filipina National High School, with all the teachers and the principal, you will not say, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing?" But instead, you will say, "Hello everyone. How are you? What are you doing?" Language registers teach you what to say to different people under various circumstances. The term language registers are also sometimes called address registers because we use them to address people in different situations in life as a speaker or writer. Now, let us be familiar with the basic English language registers. The first one, we have the high formal register. So this language register is the level of language that you would use in spoken language on formal occasions to address the Queen, an Archbishop, the President, or the Prime Minister. It is also often used in legal correspondence, proceedings, and especially in a court of law. So you use this language register when you talk to or write to persons in highest position. Examples: in extending your apologies for something went wrong. So you may say, "Your Majesty, I deeply apologize for the fiasco that occurred the other night." Another example: when asking for consideration, you may say, "With all due respect, Your Excellency, I could agree more if we will reserve judgment when all the facts are in." Another example: if you must call for the judge's attention, so usually this happens in court for proceedings. So you may say, "Your Honor, may I be heard?" So you cannot just say, "Judge, I have something to say." No. In a formal language or in high formal language, you may say, "Your Honor, may I be heard?" So there are appropriate words to say for the appropriate person that you are speaking to or writing to. Another language register is the formal or consultative register. This register is used when you speak to or write to your boss, client, or a transactional letter. For example, you're going to your doctor. So you're referring to or talking to your doctor and you're going to use polite words to address your doctor. So you may say, "Doctor, I would like to consult you regarding the abdominal pain I am feeling lately." So that is an example of formal or consultative register. Another example, When you have a transaction done and you received a message approving your purchase. Example of this is when we have transactions sa Shopee or Lazada. So we usually see this notification. So we have your example, Mr. De Vera, your purchase has been put into account. Please expect the delivery 2 days from today. So this is one good example of formal or consultative register. Next is the informal or casual register. So this is just the same with what we have discussed earlier. So the informal language. So this language is used among and between friends. So when you're talking to your friends, you use informal or casual register. So we feel a little bit comfortable when we talk to our friends. So this register may include more colloquialism or casual language. Examples. When talking to your friend, you may say, "Hey, how are you? It's been so long. Come on, let's eat out." So these are the words we say to our friends, to our loved ones, or to those people that we know very well. Of course, we cannot say this to those people that we don't know very well. For example, can we say this to our principal? Of course, no. So we only say these words to our friends. So that makes it informal language. Also, in giving thanks, saying thank you is a formal language. But saying thanks is an informal one. So thank you, we use that to address people in higher position. And we say thanks, we use the word thanks when we address people that we know very well. So informal language uses contractions. For example, let's and eats. So as you see in our previous example, let's eat out. It's been so long. So the word let us is being contracted into one word. So informal language uses contractions, which is not appropriate in formal writing. So if a sentence contains contractions, it is not being used in formal language. It is used in informal language. Another language register is the frozen or static register. This language register remains unchanged due to custom or etiquette, particularly in printed or often repeated form. Examples: biblical quotations, prayers, oath of office, pledge of allegiance, and laws. So it does not change. Those are the words that we usually memorize. Now, the different language registers have been explained, and it seems that you are now familiar with them. Let us check what you've learned through an assessment. You will be given 5 seconds each item to answer. I will be showing you different pictures displaying real-life situations that you may as well encounter. You have to identify the language register appropriate for the purpose, and so that's it. You are going to identify the language registers appropriate for the purpose. So we have here the high formal, informal, the formal, and the frozen. So you are going to identify what language register is being shown in the picture. And then you are also going to write a short line showing the appropriate words to say for the purpose. For example, "Your Honor, may I be heard?" So that is what you are going to write. You are going to write a short line showing the appropriate words to say on the situation being given to you. And also, you're going to identify what language register is being shown. So you have two answers, the line and identifying what language register. Are you ready? Let's start. Number 1. You are speaking with the school principal about an upcoming student council event. What language is appropriate for this situation? How are you going to speak to your audience? Your time starts now. Time is up. So we should use formal register. Be polite and respectful. Speak in complete sentences and avoid slang. You may say, "Good day, Mr. Principal. I am here to talk to you about the upcoming student council event." Number 2. You happen to attend to an event where Bishop Medel Aseo is present. How are you going to greet him? What language register is that? Your time starts now. You may say, "I am deeply honored for your presence, Your Reverend." And it is a high formal register. Very good. Number 3. You want to share your favorite Bible verse to a friend. How are you going to deliver it? What language register would you use? Your time starts now. Time's up. You may say, "My favorite verse is," say for example, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding." It is found in Proverbs 3:5. And this is a frozen or static language register. Very good. How was your score? I hope everything is clear to you now. For your assignment, think of a situation where you have experienced or you may experience using the basic language register. Show the appropriate words to say by writing a short dialogue of the said situation. Write at least 2 in every language register, and you may submit your assignment to your respective English teachers. And finally, we are finished discussing and learning things about language registers. My dear learners, I hope that you will put in your minds and hearts what you have learned. I want to congratulate all of you for your job very well done. It was fun and great being with you. Thank you.
Wow, that was great! Thank you so much, Teacher Milky, and thank you viewers and listeners for tuning in. I hope that you have learned something today. Stay tuned for our next subject. Bye for now!